that was horrible.
I have an announcement.
You have an announcement.
I do.
I was going to come in pretty hot, but you got an announcement?
Do you have a cold open?
I mean, it's fine. I just found a green dookie in my toilet, and it looked kind of like a...
What?
It kind of just looked like a little baby. But if yours is more important... No,
we need to
if
break.
yours is more important
We need to break this
than
down a
the
little
son that I birthed
bit.
into
You're telling me that a la Ren and Stimpy
Yeah.
adult party cartoon.
Yeah.
You were gonna come in here and be like, I found a child in my toilet.
Yeah.
Who was green.
And like, what do you do? What do you do?
And what do you duke?
What do you do?
What do you do?
What do you
But
do
wait,
when you
I
duke
know
the
for
baby?
a fact you have a bidet.
Yeah. So
So you were spraying that
What do you
baby.
think I did? I got him out of there.
This is dark.
It's terrible.
Terrible.
It's also a monster, and so
Sounds
it's like,
monster.
where
should
can you?
Should we start over?
We can start. You had an announcement.
Oh yeah.
What
Wait,
was
what
your
was my
announcement?
announcement?
You tell me. This is how announcements work.
You destroyed the announcement from my brain because like when
It's
you came
not like
in here,
a man comes into the kingdom on a horse and he's like, hello, announcement, everyone. And then he like turns to the guy next to him. He's like, hey, man, what am I announcing?
no, this is how it goes. I have an announcement. Sir, did you know I found a baby in my toilet? Oh shit! What was my announcement? That's how that went.
Yes, and then
The
knight
British are coming.
this man.
The British are coming. The British are coming.
Knight this man and his toilet baby.
Then knight the baby too. Can you imagine a little baby out there with a sword? He's like glowing green.
That's like my new fear now. My old fear used to be like a snake coming up through the toilet, and now it's a little green baby monster with a sword. Why does he have a sword? Why would
does
you
he
give
have
him a sword?
Did it make you feel ghoulish?
I felt ghoulish in my tummy about
Did you
it.
feel ghouly?
I felt ghoulies
Did
about
Gooper
it.
have anything to say about it?
Cooper had this to say about it. I ate the child.
We haven't brought Gooper in here in a while.
No, it's because he's terrifying and I hate
love
him.
I love being a character.
But I love you, Daddy.
What happened to
okay, go bye,
Bawhead?
son. Bye. I
haven't
don't know.
seen Bawhead
Get
in
Bawhead
years.
in here to get rid of him. Okay, take your friend, your lover. I don't really know what happened to you guys.
They are one enagonous.
I was gonna say, wait a minute. Wasn't the last time we talked about Bawhead
creation.
Bex and Gooper? They were one unit. Goophead Bex.
Goophead Bex.
Goophead Bex was them.
Analogous? How do you say that?
Among us.
Yes, it's me, Science Man Jim.
Oh, hello, Science Man Jim.
It's pronounced analogous.
Analogous? Are we sure about that? Are we positive about that?
No, I looked up it really quick. Goodbye.
It's not okay. Well, maybe if he comes back, I'll ask him
Hi,
some more
I'm
questions
Derek.
about his credentials. Hello, I'm Isaac. And this week for the podcast, that was Horrorble, a podcast where we dip into the worst reviewed of all the horror movies,
dip.
just the horrible
dip.
horror movies.
We dip.
We dip.
We dip.
And when I dip, you dip. We dip.
We dip into a toilet and we pull out the Ghoulies.
We pull out the Ghoulies
from
the
1985. great year
1985.
1984.
85.
84. Wait.
Oh wait.
Do
Do we have differing things?
Mine says 84.
Listen, the internet is not a great place to find all of your
And
information.
Also, after 40 years or after 39 years,
it's like, who cares?
who cares? You know,
Yeah,
like
it's
a year
like,
is
it's
a
like
year.
it's old. It's an old movie.
Like I was born.
And you know what? The actors in this movie were also pretty
Oh
old.
my god.
Oh,
we'll get
man.
into that in a bit.
Yeah,
but
we'll
that
touch
was
on that.
wild.
But yeah, so if you know anything about Ghoulies, the main poster, like the biggest marketing for it, has a little baby monster green thing in a toilet. And that's the poster for the movie.
It's terrible. It's
It's
awful.
It's hilarious, though. I kind of love it.
Yeah, but I'm okay. Yeah, I will give it away now. That shot in the movie is as long as the poster takes to flash on a screen.
Yep.
It's literally like 2 seconds, and then he goes away.
And I'll tell you something now. That shot was added after the movie.
Oh?
They filmed the entire movie and then had the idea to have the monster in the toilet as like the poster. And then they went back to shoot
So they were
that.
like, we need to actually have that in the movie.
Yeah,
Instead of
exactly.
like,
They're like, it's not going to
Did-
make any sense if the ghoulie does
Did
not
Count
end up in the
Trivia
toilet.
give you permission to like talk about that?
Yeah, we're good buds. He's fine.
I see a gun under the door.
So don't look at that. Don't worry about his gun. It's okay. I'm
Okay,
immune. I'm
so my
immune to bullets,
announcement.
Derek. So you do have an
I
announcement.
do have an announcement. My
Okay.
announcement is that if you want to wear a hat, put it on before you put your headphones on.
Oh, okay, I get that.
Second announcement, because
Second
that makes
announcement.
too. We have a
Clunk, clunk, clunk,
very
clunk, clunk,
big
clunk, clunk.
real life announcement.
Okay, yeah, for real though.
For real though, like we're excited,
Real things happen to us in our real lives, and it's
Yes.
kind of wild. But
and it has to do with the podcast.
It has everything to do with the podcast. So stick around to listen to that. We'll talk a bit more about that at the
Yeah,
end of the episode.
It's probably at like
But-
minute 1 hour and 22 minutes.
Oh, now I'm going to be scared if we don't end up exactly on that
Oh my
tick.
God, I'm kind of
I
scared.
mean, we can edit it. We can fix it.
We
It's
can fix
fine.
it.
We'll just interrupt ourselves talking.
Yeah, there will be a like
Important announcement.
important announcement.
No, but something super cool happened. It's an opportunity, an event that we get to partake in.
Yeah.
And we will tell you more about it at the end of the show.
See, this is a way for me to either get you to skip the entire episode and hear what the announcement is.
Don't do that.
Or listen to the-
guys. Guys, don't do that. Don't skip to the end of the episode.
We're funny. We have fun.
It's a fun announcement. We'll bring
We
back
have
the guy on the
fun.
horse if you want.
And
He's
okay,
kind of funny.
I have another announcement.
a
So,
third announcement.
Everyone knows
In this economy?
Science Jim,
Oh, I love science. Jim.
right? So we found out that my voice for him has changed a lot.
But it's
Quite
become
a-
a gag with you. You always
yeah.
say it's like it's different every time.
It's different every time.
We
And
went
I
back and
just
found him.
Yeah, we went back and found the original, and his
Mm-hmm.
name's Science Man Jim, and he is like he talks like this a little bit. He talks like this, you know.
Wait,
Hello,
now I feel like
it's
you're
me,
changing
Science Jim.
That's a little bit better.
This is me. I tell science facts improperly.
uh,
I mean, sometimes he tells them right, but earlier he said analogous, and he doesn't know what he's saying.
Oh my
He's being
gosh.
stupid. Don't listen to him.
no, I love him though. Are you kidding me? Yeah, the conception, the creation of Science Man Jim came about in episode 14. Let's give this boy a hand.
Let's give this boy a hand.
Yep.
Which we watched.
Idle Hands.
Idle
from
Hands.
1999, I
Remember
think.
that
Yeah,
movie?
yeah.
That
I
was a
do.
movie we
Seth
watched.
Green was in it.
But I
That's
don't want to think
all
about
I
that
remember.
movie.
No, I don't want to think about that movie. That movie's
Arguably,
in my past.
I don't even want to think about the movie we're talking about.
You guys know how hard it is to hold all these movies in your head sometimes.
We've sat there probably for a good hour in the last like week.
Yeah.
Like total overall, not like every day.
Mhm.
But like we've been like, what movies have we watched?
Really though, I mean, we're recording episode 32 of this
Yeah.
podcast,
Yeah.
at least numerical episode
Yeah.
32. Does
Yeah.
not count
Everybody
specials
gets
and
that.
stuff like that. But it's like episode 32 of this podcast,
32.
and it's like
It's older than me.
It's so old. This podcast is ancient.
Yeah.
And we've done a lot of great stuff in it, but we've also done a lot of stuff in this podcast.
And we've made up a lot of random characters.
Yeah, we got to keep it on. We need like a chalkboard on the wall to write down our
Yeah,
characters
yeah.
and when they're created and what their fucking voice sounds like. Because sometimes
It's so hard.
Sometimes literally episode to episode, I'm like, what the hell? What do you sound
What
like?
do you sound like? I mean, the ones that are consistent are like Bawhead.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then like
and then Gooper. Ah, he's fine.
he's Gooper.
and
Tim
then
the Timothy Man.
Tim
the Timothy Man.
Bane of my existence, Tim the Timothy Man. We've got Count Trivia.
My boyfriend. I love
which is
him.
great. Like Count Trivia is just like do a bad vampire impression, which is fun.
We've also got the Fly. Ooh, it's me. I'm a fly.
Oh my god, that's right. That's Christ, JT. It's me killing flies. If we ever, there's no version of The Fly that's low enough to watch on this podcast,
Ooh,
right?
that's
Because if so,
me.
Crash Janty's gonna have a fit, an
I think
absolute. Fit.
I think we have to just watch that movie for Crash Janty.
That's okay. We'll find some special to watch The Fly.
Do we have any other characters?
A Crash Janty special.
This has been a
Um,
Crash Janty special.
There have been a couple. It's funny. I was like going back and listening to old episodes. There's one time when I did like a yeah, it's me and this is my normal voice.
Oh
I'm,
my
I'm
God,
John
yeah.
Jonathan. Oh, what was it? It was on the tip of my tongue.
I don't
It's Johnny Wrexham. That's my name.
Oh right,
and
Johnny
he
Wrexham.
never came back. I feel like you've had
That's
a couple
okay.
too. Right? These
yeah.
characters.
We do that. This is a characters podcast.
You know what's funny? We did actually have a Kermit the Frog clone that we called Mermit, who was
What?
the Expectations Muppet.
What?
We called him Mermit the Expectations Muppet. It's like
When did we have that?
it was like maybe 12, 13 episodes.
Wow.
And yeah, it was like well yeah, Derek, what are your expectations?
Oh, I remember that.
you have some
now.
expectations
I was
for
here.
the movie? It's me, Mermit, the Expectations Frog.
I like that.
It's great, but
Can
it's
we
just
have
a
like
rip-off.
can we like have an expectations like a what is it called when we finish them when we
finish? Is that what you want to
yeah
say?
when we come no,
No,
when we
gross.
when we finish our expectations when we like
I don't
count
actually have a real name for that. I just say like expectation results.
the waka waka hey Kermit
Hey, Kermit!
Kermit I don't know I'm really bad
Welcome
at
to our show where we just do character voices and impressions, apparently.
but like impressions of characters that are like almost right.
Beloved, and we love them. Thank you for joining our show within a show today, where we kind of discuss welcome behind the scenes. How you guys doing?
This has been behind the music
This has
with
been
Isaac and Derek.
behind the horror with horror boys Isaac and
Ooh,
Derek.
That's it.
That could
And
be
I'm so
kinda fun.
excited to tell everybody about our news.
We have such exciting news,
We have
guys.
such exciting
it's
news.
kind of wild to even conceive, considering we started this because it's currently September.
Is it?
It is currently September.
It is.
Yes,
We started
it
in
is.
February.
Okay, good. Yeah, we started like what, February, March?
Something like that.
For this
yeah.
podcast of this year, and there's
Yeah.
some great stuff that's happened and great
Not going to
stuff
tell you the
coming
year,
up.
though, because you might be listening
Yeah,
in
exactly.
the year 2027.
We've definitely said the year 2023 a couple
Nope,
times
shut
at
up.
this point.
They might be listening in the year 2027.
But it's like we had Lex Hogan, the script supervisor
Yes.
for Hereditary,
Ah.
which is just wild for our little baby horror podcast.
yes. And we have
it's-
just so much planned.
It's exciting.
like-
I'm stoked to see it.
We've come so far and we've done so much. Like we've upgraded our setup.
Mhm.
I mean, not to spoil anything, but we're probably going to start doing live videos
Yeah,
very,
we
very
got
soon. Like
something really
maybe
cool
sooner
coming
than you would
up.
think.
Yeah,
Our
I guess
gaming
we should,
videos are gonna
we should
start
not
ramping
just like
up.
start by showing them us. It's
Yeah.
kind of a face reveal.
It is,
because it's
a
like
little
our,
bit.
our stuff, like our names are in it, and like
Well,
our
and, like,
faces
our
are on
eyes,
the logo
yeah.
for it. But it's like it's a different world.
It's a
entirely.
completely different vibe.
So yeah, a face reveal coming up for horror boys, Derek and Isaac.
And you can finally look at Isaac and imagine my voice to come out of it. And be like,
Oh
what the,
yeah.
What? What the what?
What if we find some way to flip it where like we do a lot, like it's our faces in it, but my
Yeah.
voice comes out of your mouth and your voice comes out of my mouth?
Oh.
That
Ooh,
could be kind of
ew.
spooky. Yeah.
I would kinda hate
just
it.
kind of flip the script on everybody. But we've got a lot of cool stuff in the works. Like we're just
Yeah.
getting started.
We're just
here.
getting excited.
The podcast is gonna keep going. Don't you go anywhere.
Yeah,
And
if
thank
you go somewhere, we're staying here.
Thank you for being here in the first place. All of you coming back
Yeah.
week to week, watching our
Yeah.
episodes. It's really nice to see like episodes go up and they get some listens without us even marketing them at
Yes,
all.
I love
Like we
that.
didn't put it on the Instagram or on Twitter or Facebook, anywhere like that. It's just like we post an episode and there's a handful of people that just check it out immediately.
love it.
So thank you all. That's such a great feeling for us who just do such a simple thing. You know, we
Yeah.
like who wants to listen to us talk? Some of you do, and
Some
I'm
of you
really
do.
happy about
and
that.
I will give you all a hug if I meet you in real life.
Yeah.
And when I meet you in real life, I'll give you a hug.
And who knows? Maybe we'll meet people in real life someday, huh? Derek, co-host of the podcast.
That's right. Isaac, co-host of the podcast.
In the meantime, Derek, tell me some facts and
Hey,
figures.
I'll tell you. I think we broke.
about Ghoulies.
I think we broke a record today.
Did we?
Yeah, we didn't announce the podcast for 2 minutes and like 40 seconds.
Whoa.
I think that has to be a record.
that's pretty good.
I mean, it's been like 12 minutes now, which
Yeah.
is not a record.
Yeah, because
But-
what makes a good podcast is if someone turns it in and like imagines that they just walked into a random room with two dudes talking in it. They're like, oh, cool, okay.
Yeah, that's everyone's dream.
Yeah.
I just want to open a door and there's like two dudes talking.
Two guys talking to each other.
Hey,
about
that's another
nonsense.
voice we did. We did Keanu Reeves and
Oh, Nicolas
John
Cage.
Denver.
What?
Yeah, it's me. I flew a plane.
I can't go back down this rabbit hole of trying to figure out a Nicolas Cage
yeah,
impression.
Tim the Timothy man has a
We
gun
are
now.
here
He's
to talk about
Ghoulies
Ghoulies
from 1984. It was rated PG-13. It ran for an hour and 21 minutes. I don't know why I've started doing that, but I really like doing it.
No, it's cool. It tells you how long we have like endured the movie or enjoyed the movie.
It's funny. We've over the last couple weeks more than a couple weeks, like the last month, we've started looking at the runtimes more often.
Yeah.
Because like there will be movies that last 6 hours, but only we watch for an hour.
Okay,
And
there's a lot of
it's
discrepancy.
Interesting.
There's a lot of discrepancies here. It says IMDb wants to claim this movie came out in 1984, but then Wikipedia and Rotten Tomatoes want to tell me it came out in 1985.
Did it come out on
One of these years,
January
the movie.
1st?
It came out according to Wikipedia, which is not that trusted. Came out in January 18th, 1985.
Okay.
There's
Well,
a lot of I don't know.
So I mean
man.
that's like pretty close.
One
to,
of the years. Okay, we're not experts.
I,
Just want you to know that we went through and saw that there's two different ones. I don't know which one it is. I'm not.
Are you worried
a
about?
historian.
Are you worried about Steve, my
Maybe.
father-in-law, coming in and being like, "That movie came out in 1984."
Oh my God, I'm sorry, Steve.
Okay. This movie was written and directed by
Written-
Luca Berkovici.
Written in what?
Written and directed
by the same
by the
person?
same guy.
No!
Hey, but Ridley Scott did it, so anyone can do it.
Someone. It can happen.
And then also Jeffrey Levy helped with the writing as well. Did you like the way I said that?
Not
Did you like
really.
the way I said that?
I don't know if I liked it.
Well, so talking first about Luca Berkovici,
About who?
the guy who directed it.
About who?
Luca
Luca?
Berkovici.
That's a name that I won't be able to say.
I must be right. So he has done a lot of acting stuff. He's acted a lot.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen any of it.
Luca Berkovici.
I mean, like a couple of. It's mostly just like random extras in TV shows. But he has 70 acting credits on IMDb.
That's a lot.
It's not nothing. But his first directorial movie was Ghoulies.
Okay.
And then he went on to do 7 or 8 more things. And it's just not.
Did he make any other Ghoulies projects? Because
No.
hey, there's a lot of these movies.
I know there's 4. There are 4 Ghoulies movies. And I'm going to need. Oh my God. Whoa. Hold on, Isaac.
Okay,
Are
what's
you
up?
seeing what I'm seeing right
I'm
now?
not seeing.
He made a movie called Rockula.
Rockula?
I think this might be a movie we watch one day on the podcast. Hopefully
Oh,
soon.
tell me.
Tell me the Rotten Tomato score right now.
It's
Are you looking?
51%
Dang it.
actually.
People liked it. This looks great. Everyone go
This
look
is
up
whack.
Rockula right now.
Oh my God. A young vampire cannot
Yep.
lose his virginity because of a curse imposed upon him centuries ago.
And read what it is, Isaac. It's
So-
a horror musical.
He's a vampire rock star who cannot get laid
Yep.
because he is cursed.
Because he is cursed.
What a problem
I mean,
to have.
Everyone's been there, right?
We've all been
like,
there.
you
We've all
get
had
that
curses we have
curse.
to remove.
You have to climb up a mountain 3 times and take, the woodpecker up the mountain with the
I just want
peaches.
to. I just want to know, like, where does it
He wasn't
stop?
listening to me.
Like, where does it? Where does he become? Like, where does the curse happen? Like, is it like he's about to get in bed with a lady and she dies?
You said it right there, Isaac. It's when he becomes.
It's when he becomes.
It's when he becomes.
But then again, what happens? Does it just like backtrack and it never happened, or like does the girl die?
I'm gonna tell you, man. We're gonna have to watch Rockula to find out.
I guess we're gonna have to figure this. We're gonna have to get to the bottom of
We're
this.
gonna have to do that as a special for something.
Oh my
because
God!
I
horror
need to
musical
watch
comedy.
this
That sounds
movie.
incredible. I would watch that one. I would watch that one faster than I would watch Ghoulies, but we did this one first, I guess.
Ghoulies was your freaking idea. I need to remind you about that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Um,
I saw a little green guy in the toilet and got excited.
I mean, yeah, okay.
So
Jeffrey Levy Jeffrey Levy was the other writer for this movie. He has actually directed more than he has written.
What?
Which is kind of funny to me.
This seems backwards.
He wrote Rockula as well.
okay.
With
so
what's his face.
they got
worked
together for this
yeah.
one.
And then he also he did a video of Ghoulies Go to College.
What?
And I think that's the 3rd movie.
I can't
It
believe.
calls itself a video for some reason.
That's so weird.
Yeah, so he did
I
Ghoulies
guess
3 and
every
4.
movie is a video.
Technically.
Yeah.
Like a VHS video home service.
Yeah. That's it.
No, I don't think it is.
No, you're right. It isn't.
But then he went on to direct things like that were very famous. Like he's
Like?
directed episodes of TV shows like Ghost Whisperer and Numbers and Monk and Eureka. Like he has directed things that people love.
he has
And
a
so,
success story here.
But I mean,
Coming up from Ghoulies and Rockula.
those are all mixed into things that were not as popular. So
Sounds
you know,
right.
do what it is. He also looks incredible. If you look at his IMDb page, Jeffrey Levy,
He looks like Skrillex before he got a haircut.
he kind of looks like if a Muppet was a person.
Yeah, that's
Like-
fair. Is
like,
he a man
see,
or
is
is he a Muppet? If he's a
Is
man,
he?
that makes him a very manly Muppet.
All right, so Ghoulies, we're going to go down the list here. Rotten Tomatoes is sitting at 7%. The audience, though, is at 68. That's a
They're-
61% difference.
That's huge.
And
I didn't know that. I mean, I'm looking at it right now, and I didn't know that.
wait, it's different now.
Are you sure about that? Because according to
It's
this,
different
it
now.
says 7%
Okay.
tomato meter and then audience score of 20.
I'm very confused because when I looked at that earlier today, it was 68.
I was very confused. I'm like,
It's
there's no
20%.
way the
That's
audience
really
felt
funny.
that was 68.
My computer was acting weird when I was checking this page, and I think there was like literally, no joke, a glitch that gave this a higher audience.
Someone hacked into your computer. Someone's like,
That
they
is
need
so
to tell
funny.
the people.
Because I remember thinking to myself, I was like, this is so high. Type.
Oh my God. So yeah, no, 20% for the audience score, which is only a 13% difference. And that definitely,
That checks out.
that makes it a lot better.
I was really scared.
I was scared for the people. I was
Me
like,
too.
watch
Who
more
likes
movies.
this movie? Should we go rewatch it?
Should we go? Well, hold on. Well, they don't know what we think about this movie.
I think
You ever think
we're-
about how bad we are at like hiding our opinion about the movie before we talk
We've
about
like
it?
basically given our entire review just based on how we're talking about the movie.
Listen, there's little green guys in the toilet. What else can I tell you?
The letterbox for this movie is 2.4. IMDb is sitting at 4.1. The budget was $5.5 million.
$1 million. Are
Wow.
we sure about that?
Yes, man. I promise. This one, I'm
Million.
serious.
Million.
It grossed $35 million.
No way. Who went to see this movie
I don't know.
in 1984-5?
But I think that's But I think that's the only way it got 3 sequels.
That makes sense, honestly.
Right?
'Cause,
This movie made enough to budget the next 3 movies.
I mean, that's
that
what
no
happened
one saw.
with The Nun, right? The Nun is like one of the lowest rated of the Conjuring universe, and it made a shitload of money.
Yeah,
so they
man.
made another one.
Yeah.
And they could make another. Who knows?
They will make another.
Back
We
to-
saw the second one.
Back to nunsness.
Nunsness.
Nuns go to New York. I don't know. What's the third one?
Nun takes Manhattan.
Nun takes
Valak
Manhattan.
takes Manhattan. Or
Valak takes Manhattan.
None where to hide.
None with the wind. None where to hide is pretty good. I like that one. So anyway, I made a bunch of money somehow, and that's why they made 4 of these movies.
Yeah, I guess. So yeah, that's basically it on Ghoulies. Do you want to talk about some Rotten Tomatoes reviews?
Let's talk about some reviews. Let's get into the pits, the rotten pits here. Covering the screen right now, I have all rottens and one pleasant
man.
review here, which I can start us out with if you want.
Please.
From Stefan Birger Steffens from SBS.is. There are much better Haunted Mansion films, many also produced by Charles Band, but Ghoulies has a charm of its own. It's a fun B-movie through and through with plenty of Satanism and devilish creatures.
Ooh, very good. David
It's
Nusser.
good, but I don't know what movie he watched.
Yeah. David Nusser says, they're not meant to inspire terror in viewers, as evidenced by the sequence featuring a ghoulie playing the piano.
I mean, that's a pretty great part of the movie. Matt Brunson from Film Frenzy says, this is the sort of movie where you can just sense the puppeteers poised just outside of the camera's eye.
Gary Shamray, which is a fantastic name.
That's a pretty good name. I might change my name to Gary Shamray.
Of
Jerry,
your
Jerry
movies.
Shamray.
Of yourmoviescleveland.com has the most eloquent of reviews.
Give it to me.
B movie trash.
Period.
Yep,
Aw,
0 out of
man.
5.
Yikes. Big yikes from Jerry there.
It's a
Thank
big,
you.
big
Thank you to
yikes.
all your reviewers there. Shall we get into what we were thinking about the movie?
Yeah.
Our expectations.
Oh yeah, you want to give your expectations?
yeah.
It's me, Mermit.
It's me, Mermit the Expectations Frog, and
Okay.
I'm here to say you guys should talk about your expectations.
Thanks, Mermit.
We can't keep bringing this guy back
No,
here.
he's
I just
gone.
wanted to remember. I remember that he existed, and I was like, "That's super weird."
The Jim Henson
we
company is
firing
going to
him
come
right now?
beat us up. Hey, Mermit.
Okay,
come here.
Mermit, step
Step
into
in
my
here.
office. Close the door behind you. It's okay.
Tuchiko konk.
All right, so Mermit, it's been a minute, and we
Oh.
haven't really gotten a lot out of you in the
Yeah.
past 15 episodes.
Is it
You
because
know,
my voice keeps changing?
it changes a bit, and that's not really the problem. The problem is, how do I put this lightly?
Is it because this piggy moved out?
You were already an existing IP,
Oh.
and we worry, just, as a company, we worry about,
Oh.
the copyright infringement, because we've already got a couple of those already.
What if I change my voice a little bit more?
Okay, all right. Well, give
What
me your
if
best. What do you got?
Hello, it's me, Mermit.
That's a Muppet to me. That's a I'm sorry. I'm getting mad. I'm sorry, Mermit. It's just
I don't like seeing
We're gonna
Isaac
need you.
mad.
We're gonna need you to pack up your things and go. Is
Wait,
that okay?
wait, what if I give you my expectations?
What are your expectations, Mermit?
First expectation, you keep me on the podcast.
No,
Second expectation,
Mermit.
I don't move out.
Oh, Mermit.
Second, third expectation,
All
you
right,
remember how much you love me.
All right, Goophead Bex, if you would come on here. Time
Oh,
for
God.
you to go.
Okay, well, I have one last thing to say.
Okay.
I was not involved. Oh, whoa! What the fuck?
Well, I don't know what happened there, but
What was he
Mermit-
not involved in?
I don't know. Something intense, I guess. All right, Mermit's out. We're in with our expectations. So for me, my immediate expectation was that I'm going to have a good time, not Derek.
Oh my God! no.
Something about Derek was
Dude,
not looking
I
forward to
was-
watching this movie.
Everything about this movie screamed, "Don't watch it."
It's just tough because sometimes when you're coming at a movie and you're like, this is going to be bad, it's reviewed poorly, how can I get excited about this? You can't bring yourself to do it. And Derek was definitely in that spot with this
man.
movie.
No, man. I don't
So
know.
I thought I was going to have a good time, but I figured Derek was not going to have a good time. So of those expectations, I wrote just fucking annoying teens who look way too old. Because we watched the trailer and I saw those. I saw those kids.
Those kids came in here when I was on the couch.
And they were old as hell, and they looked
Yeah, man.
so annoying. Stupid premise, but it will be worth it for these little creatures because I saw what the Ghoulies look like. There's like 3 different designs. There's one that's this little like the green baby basically
Yeah,
that's in the
toilet boy.
toilet. There's one that basically just looks like a fucked up rat
I
that's like
liked
kind
him.
of humanoid and like lumpy and gross. And then there was another one that I don't know how to describe. It's like if a cat and the
Yeah.
rat had a baby. It had these scary looking realistic eyes.
Yeah, and
it was
then-
also all hairy and fucked up. Like
And then they made it with a Furby.
Yeah.
Like a really big Furby.
Yeah. So something like that. But it was terrifying. So anyway, I thought it was going to be worth it for these creatures, even if the premise was going to be dumb. On that line, I just said awesome effects work. I was excited to see them.
Yeah.
The Ghoulies themselves, those 3 characters, looked awesome. I really liked the way they were looking. Completely practical little puppets. Loved them.
For sure.
I said it's probably pretty hefty Gremlins vibe because Gremlins was released just the year prior to this one. If we're saying it was released in 85, it's like, yeah, Gremlins was released in 1984.
Is that why you've been so gung-ho about the date?
Maybe that's why. I don't know, honestly.
I'll get Mermit back.
Don't bring him in here. Listen, I saw he was talking.
Oh God, he's waiting up.
He was
by
talking
the
to
bus.
Count Trivia, and he grabbed his gun, and so we need to leave him alone. But yeah, I figured it would be like really trying to ride on the coattails of the success of Gremlins because it seemed like it was going to be that vibe, like little ghoulishly creatures that look funny and are going to get into some havoc, because there was that shot in the trailer of the ghoulie coming out of the toilet but also playing the piano.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is giving me strong, like goofy Gremlins vibe,
Yeah,
right?
goofy Gremlins.
So that was another one for me. And then my last expectation just says only worth it for the Ghoulies. They will save the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was me. What about you on your expectations?
So yeah, my first expectation, similar to yours, this will make me groan a lot. You were thinking you would enjoy it. I was definitely on the boat of like, I do not want to watch this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe it did. The practical puppets will be hilarious, but I fear I've seen them all.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a common expectation, but I think it rings true, right? You see a lot of the more expensive effects in the trailers.
Well, exactly. And they needed something to like pull you in, like
Yeah,
look at what we did with this fucked up little dude.
But I felt like I had seen everything in that 2-minute trailer. I was like, okay, well, what else are they going to do? I know one pops out of the toilet. I know one plays the piano. I know they're like everywhere lurking.
Like, what else is there you can
What
do?
else could you do for me?
The guys are sitting there in the writer's room like, God, what do we do? They came out of the toilet. Okay, yeah, and then they played the piano. Okay,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah, what
And then
xylophone?
what?
No,
that's
too close to
God,
piano.
no,
Ah, dang it.
It's basically just a small piano.
Maybe like a green pipe? He could come out of a green pipe? No, that's Mario.
That's
Fuck.
Mario. That's a Goomba. He's basically Goomba.
Ghoulie Goomba. Ghoulie Goomba. Oh, no. What have I done? Have I conjured the Ghoulie Goomba? Blop.
That's what it sounds like. God, that was so anticlimactic. The Ghoulie Goomba. No.
Blop.
What other expectations did you have besides a Ghoulie Goomba?
Ready? I'm going to clap again. So much sexism.
So much sexism.
There's just like people making out. So I was like, okay, well, it's the movie from the 80s.
Yeah, and making out is so sexist, you guys. Just stop making out.
Okay, that's not what I mean.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, like, just like anytime I see these movies with like teenagers and like girls at parties and guys at parties and they're drinking.
I agree with you. I just wanted to give you shit because yeah, absolutely, that definitely felt like it was gonna go that
Are
way.
you gonna give it to me wrapped in a bow later?
Yeah,
or?
exactly. And it was gonna be a present. I was gonna like do.
Is it gonna be
cute.
green?
It's gonna be
I
a
learned
green.
that your shit is green. Today.
Yeah, it's gonna be
It's
a baby.
There won't be much of a plot outside the kids just wanting to be hedonistic teens who summon some monsters.
Yep.
Like, that was really all the trailer gave me was like bunch of kids in a house. They summon some monsters for fun while drinking.
I guess I suppose I enjoy the fact that it didn't really give us much plot beyond that. It was just like kids are at a party, then they summon demons. What else could happen?
What else?
And then it's just
Blah,
like,
blah.
the Ghoulies, Gremlin style, just fucking things up for another minute and a half while the trailer went.
Absolutely. The death scenes will leave much to be desired. And this was kind of not really based on anything other than the fact it was an 80s movie with creatures, right?
Yep.
I was like, these kids are probably going to die in some way.
Yeah.
I'm going to want them to have died more interestedly. More like interestingly. You know what I mean?
Interestingly.
Interestedly.
Interestingly.
Interesting.
Enter Stingley.
Hello, it's me, Stingley. I'm the lead singer for Roxanne Band, the Police.
Roxanne. I thought you said Rock Sandbag. Like that was the name of their band. It's me and my band, Rock Sandbag. Yeah, Crash Janty used to roll with those guys. But then they made the song The Fly, and then he couldn't get over it.
Oh, I love that one. You ready?
No.
Fly,
No, kid. Go. No, absolutely
buzzing
not.
around my hair.
I hate no,
buzzing around
not
my
listening.
hair.
It's
The
awful.
fly won't
Oh,
stop
it's so bad.
buzzing around my
Get out of my
hair.
head. Get
Buzzing
out.
around my
You're
hair.
not real.
Oh, buzzing-
I'm
okay.
gonna imagine you're not. Yeah. And then they're gone.
What just happened? Oh, you're still
Now
British, though.
Crash Janty is free. I'm alive and well. I'm gonna get
I
out of
hate
here
this.
now.
The way you're like doing your cheeks, you're
I
like
like
full of cotton balls.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's
We'll
all
go this
right.
way now.
Bye,
Anyway.
Cressy boy.
Crash Janty happened. Do you have any more expectations?
No, that was the end of my
Oh, okay, cool. Roxanne.
I mean, I do have kind of an overall expectation that
Which
I wrote too.
is?
That it's just like will be the most disappointing movie I've seen in a long time.
Ooh, what was the last really disappointing movie we watched for the podcast that you remember?
I don't know. The last one I remember is probably the Boogans.
The Boogans. That was a while ago.
I know it was, but that movie disappointed me so bad, like so hard.
Because like End of Days worked out. Let's see.
I mean, it like kind of worked.
Birdemic exists, and that's just kind of
but I had seen that like 50 times. Right?
I guess that's fair. What about Chud? Chud was entertaining.
Chud, I had a good enough time. I mean, maybe Frogs.
Maybe.
Frogs was like incredibly disappointing.
I think that's probably where I ended up as well.
Or
Maybe
even
Class of Nukem High.
I was just about to say Class of Nukem High.
Class of Nukem High might be one of them as well. Anyway, so yeah, so we're through our expectations. Is it finally time to talk about the movie?
I don't know. The movie.
Let's go down the toilet and into this movie. Oh, it's clogged. It's clogged. What's in there? Oh, it's a ghoulie. That's not what they sound
Yoda
like.
dying in Lego Star Wars.
So much like our introduction right there, it's just immediately on the ghoulies, like right up on the spooky little snout of one of them. These things are gross, but the puppets do look incredible.
They're great.
I really liked the way that they looked.
I love these puppets.
And then so there's like this cult thing going on, but the ghoulies are just roaming free with them.
Yeah,
so
there's
they're in
so
some
much
kind of like
Latin.
ritualistic room down somewhere, and there's the ghoulies that are just like free roaming about with them. They're just hanging out.
They're kind of like doing little up and down idle animations.
So man and ghoulie can live in harmony.
I mean, obviously.
There's a cool guy with horns, but he's got these green eyes that were definitely added afterwards.
Oh my god, yeah.
The weird thing about the eyes, though, is not the fact that they're green and they look like they were definitely kind of crappily added afterwards. It's the fact that they don't cover the entirety of the eye all the time.
Yeah,
like sometimes it's like there's like a little bit of a bubble in it. Like a bubble of air in between all the green where there's no green. It's like
you could see the pupil of his normal eye sometimes.
Yeah, it's strange, but like it didn't look like he was wearing contacts. It looked like it was an after effect, right?
It was so bad.
It was just strange to me. I don't understand why.
It could have been such a cool effect. And I don't know.
It was
they just made decisions.
quite inconsistent. But then there's a baby brought up, a sacrifice. But there's this one lady who will not be having it, and she pulls the baby away from the man who's about to sacrifice it with his green eyes, and she's like, "No, don't!" And then she gives it like a necklace to protect it. I think some kind of talisman.
Yeah.
And what were you gonna say?
I'm laughing at my note.
What was your note?
Chest burster. I hardly know her.
Oh man, yeah. So the man goes to try to sacrifice this baby, and it zaps him. We assume because of the necklace that she gave it, right? And then Jack Nance from Twin Peaks,
he's here,
and he just takes the baby and like runs away with it. Yeah.
Run away with me.
Meanwhile, the woman is to be sacrificed in the baby's stead, and then she is getting eaten alive by the ghoulies. It would appear like they're kind of around her, nibbling and like kind of biting her.
But this was something I noticed too. So like they show him like nibbling on her like hands and feet and arms and whatever, but then it shows her laying there and there's nothing on her. Like at our, she's just laying there.
No, I assumed, I'm like, are they just at her hands, which are out of frame in this shot?
Yeah, but then it showed them, and they weren't there.
No, it's kind of weird. There's a lot of continuity issues within this movie. But then, yes, as Derek mentioned here, she has like this bump coming up out of her chest, and she's having like a chest burster moment, right? Where like the skin starts to peel away. You're like, oh shit, here it comes, and then you don't see it.
But I'm not gonna lie, man. That was cool. Yeah, and I got into it. I
liked
ready.
the effect. It was a fun scene. I was just kind of sad that we didn't see any of the gore of it. We just kind of saw an effect where they created like a fake chest to have something bursting from it, but nothing ever actually came out of it. I don't even know what even that was. Was a ghoulie coming out?
Me neither.
Who knows?
That's where my disappointment from this comes because I saw it and I was like, oh, well. I'm kind of into the fact that I didn't see it personally.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, they're going to delay it, right? This is some monster delay. No, we never see that.
No,
again.
you just never find out about it. What was funny though is one of the ghoulies covers his eyes and like shies away from it because he doesn't want to see. They're adorable.
He's so scared.
But then it's the opening credit sequence, and the music sounds like a knockoff Danny Elfman.
Yeah, it does.
It's like think the opening music from like Beetlejuice is what I would kind of describe it as, but it feels very much like the composers listen to a lot of Danny Elfman.
Yeah, and it was a good time. Like the music the entire time by Richard Band and Shirley Walker.
It was pretty rocking. I was kind of having fun with it.
Pretty banging,
honestly.
honestly.
Though, it did not match the vibe or the feel of the movie. Like it was another one of those. We haven't had one of these in a minute where like the movie is not deserving of the music because the music is great.
It's really not.
And sometimes, a lot of the time, it does not really fit the movie itself. Yeah, like, it had no reason to go so hard. This music did.
But so fun, I guess. Kind of trivia. Don't shoot me.
It's fun fact.
Richard Band, so one of the two, he has actually worked on a ton of stuff. Things like Reanimator, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah, and he has
love
actually
the soundtrack for Reanimator.
Worked with Danny Elfman.
Okay, that tracks
times.
then. That makes sense.
So it's like it makes sense.
Yeah, so
right?
there's a reason why it sounds like that then.
And I can't clarify it now, but I thought I read that Shirley Walker also did. But what she did do was all the Final Destination movies. So
what?
Yeah, dude,
that's nuts.
2 weeks. But she also did the Batman Adventures and Spawn and Mystery Men.
Okay, these all have some kick-ass
Goofy
music in
movie.
it.
She was one of the conductors.
How did they get them?
Like.
What did they? That's where all the budget for this movie went, just to pay these two.
Yeah, dude.
Shirley who?
Shirley Walker.
Shirley Walker and Rob
just,
Band. Is that what it was?
Richard Band.
Richard Band is Shirley Tempo.
And she didn't compose all of these things, but she was in the either in the orchestras or helped compose some of these movies. So pretty dope,
that kicks
right?
ass. I love that so much.
Yeah,
but
good
yeah,
for
so
her.
the music is great. I love it. It was a very long credit sequence, but the music was fun, so I kind of enjoyed it anyway.
I was into it.
But then now there's a narrator, and I'm pretty sure, and we did find out it was Jack Nance, whose name is Wolfgang in this movie, by the way.
And we only found that out because of IMDb.
Yeah.
And then
he said it at one point in the movie. He's like, "Oh, thanks, Wolfgang. I love you so much." We're like, "What the? Who just says that? What name is? That's crazy." So yeah, he was once one of the members. He was the members of one of this cult kind of place, right? And he took the baby and ran away with it in the opening sequence. Now it would appear he has taken the baby away, and it's like a full adult now.
Okay, we got to just get into this right now.
We have to tear into this right now because it bothered us so much.
First off, we are looking at these people and we're like, there's no way these people are like teenagers.
And we didn't get a title screen being like, 20 years later, 30 years later. We have no idea how actually old they are. We know they're in school of some sort, be it high school or college. Don't know.
So Peter Lapis, who plays the main character who we're now seeing, first off, he doesn't look like he's anywhere near high school or college.
Not
he
even
looks
college.
like he's in his 40s
and
or
then,
50s.
Yeah, and then we went and did the math.
And he was what, 36?
36 when he filmed
was 36 when he filmed this movie.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Jack Nance, the man who carried him as an adult, he carried a small baby.
Yep.
We're supposed to believe he was born 6 years before this other guy.
So the man who is acting as caretaker and father figure in a sense to this boy is only 6 years older than him. It's
obvious.
It's so obvious.
It's so obvious.
Like at first I thought they were in high school. Then I think later on it seems like they were in college actually. But even for college, this guy looks way old.
Yeah,
because he was what did we say 36 when this happened?
Yeah, he was 36. Oh my God, he was born in Utah.
Oh my no, we can't. We don't claim him.
Standardville.
There's no way that's a real place.
Standardville, Utah.
You're kidding me.
Listen, man, I've lived here my entire freaking life.
Standardville, Utah. That's
because
just can't be.
It became the standard for all mining towns to follow.
What?
Not even kidding.
It's just like how there's a boring Oregon and stuff like that.
Is that real?
We have that's a real place. We have Standardville, Utah.
Oh my God, and
That's
it's right
terrible.
next to Peerless, Utah.
So all of, what the hell? All of the teens or the college kids in this movie are old at the very least. They're all within like 29 to 36 was the age range for all of these kids.
Every single one of them. Kids.
It's like were there not
older than me?
Were there not any teens around or even young adults available for the casting and filming of this movie?
I have to know right now. Was there any trivia about their age?
Absolutely not. Nope. It just happened. You're going to have to take that up with the casting manager for this movie.
I'm so confused.
It's so weird.
I've never been so confused by casting before.
Yeah. So now we meet the main character who was the baby in the beginning that was going to be sacrificed. His name is Jonathan. He's an adult now. He's in college, I guess. We're just going to have to rock with that because the movie wants us to believe that, even though he looks ancient.
No, he's 15.
Yeah, he's a young,
15-year-old, 40-year-old man.
So we meet him and his girlfriend, Rebecca, who are walking around the grounds of this mansion that he somehow inherited, which again, that was also not explained to us why he has this mansion at all.
No.
But it seems like Jack Nance, Wolfgang, didn't really tell him much about his past. He just took him away and has kind of half been raising him. He's pretending to be the caretaker for the grounds of this mansion.
Yeah, I guess.
So they actually don't really interact at all in this movie.
It kind of mentions at one point, it's your dad died in a terrible way.
Right.
And that's all it says. So, I mean, what do you want?
It was not very obvious to us in the beginning, but it does become apparent that the man with the horns and the green eyes was his father,
dad.
and the girl that was trying to save him was his mother. So, like, that's mom and dad fighting over the baby in the beginning. But there's, Wolfgang is here for some reason. He shows up every so often as like a narrator,
He's
and it
just
doesn't make
there.
any. And all he does is give this ominous is like Jonathan couldn't resist the darkness that was lurking inside of him. One day he would find out, or something stupid like that.
So dumb.
But it was very weird. So Jonathan, just being a man hanging in a house with his girlfriend, is like, I'm just gonna go dig around in the basement for a second, right? And then just finds signs of the occult. Like he finds all of their ritual stuff and robes and daggers, and like he finds the runes written down the floor and stuff like that. It's just like, what did Wolfgang want him to find this at some point? Because he didn't hide it very well.
I guess.
I also didn't know why he was looking in the first place, because he was hanging out with his girlfriend and then kind of sent her away for a minute.
Yeah.
And then it was just a scene of him in the basement digging around and finding
Oh,
things.
look, a book.
Like, yeah, exactly. So he finds like a book with all this stuff. It's just it's super weird to me. But then enter the shitty teens, the party kids.
Shitty teens. They ride up on a little 3-wheeler ATV.
Yeah, because ATVs were cool.
And
That's
drinking alcohol.
That's the cool way to walk
and
into this
smoking
party.
the weed.
I didn't even know they were gonna throw a party, and then suddenly there's a party, and I'm like, is Wolfgang cool with this? Like, what's up? He's just chilling somewhere? I guess so.
Well, if you know anything about Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, he was quite the party.
He's a party guy.
Yeah,
You're right. You're right.
See, that was a joke. Let me explain to you why that was a joke, Isaac.
You're
Because
terrible.
I'm explaining why.
Where's names like Wolfgang? Huh? I missed that name.
We've already riffed on this. In the
I know.
podcast.
I wanted to.
Can I explain why he was a joke?
Do you want to explain why you're mansplaining your joke to me?
Yeah, because Amadeus laughed a lot.
What?
Mozart laughed a lot.
Anyway, they start a party.
It's like his thing.
They start a party. The music is fun. I really enjoyed the music playing at this party. And I don't know. I guess they're just throwing a party in this mansion. There's tons of teens here. Tons of teens and college kids, I guess.
There are so many, though.
The house was jam-packed with them. I don't know where all these kids came from.
I don't know, but I think they actually went to like a ward function and found like 80 men, adult men, and then like 10 adult women.
This is only going to appeal to the Mormons that listen to our podcast. You know, all of you Mormons who listen to this horror movie podcast. What's a ward, Derek? You mean like a ritualistic thing, like a guarding ward?
I need you to stop. What I mean is like they got a bunch of people from like they just like went to the city council building.
Okay.
How's that?
Okay.
How's that? Does that work for you?
That works for me.
Like, hey, you guys want to be in the movie?
Listen, I've lived in Utah for a couple years. I sincerely don't know what a ward is.
It's like the It's
like a neighborhood.
It's like no. What kind of? It's like there's like quadrants of the neighborhood, and like there's like groups. The group of people that belong to like the church meeting.
The church. Okay.
Yeah. So like there's like the block of time for like the.
What is? Oh man, this goes so deep.
I'm done.
It's so
We're
hard
moving
for me. Anyway, they get a bunch of weirdos in here, right? And they introduce us to a couple of them. There's like 2 stoner dudes who are pretty prevalent here. There's one weird guy who's like
the frog man.
who's like the dweeb type in the movie, and when someone comes up to him, he just starts talking in like a little girl's voice,
Froggy.
and they call him Toad Boy.
That's what it is.
Toad boy.
Like, what
it's
the-
me, Toad boy.
Like when he was doing his bit, we all just stared at each other while we were watching this movie. We're like, "Is this really happening?
Mouth agape.
What is going? Who is this kid?
Who is this man? Why
Some
is he
weirdo, just absolute weird boy."
Yeah.
And then so what's funny? What's funny about this is we see so many teenagers.
A lot of
They highlight a couple of them throughout, and then the party's just over, and there's a random selection of the teens left over who I assume will be here the rest of the movie, right?
And you were right.
Yeah. so it's like the 2 stoner guys. There's like an annoying guy and his girlfriend. There's another girl who, for some fucking reason, is into Toad Boy.
Yeah, man.
And even she, like, there's a line about it too. Someone's like, "Toad Boy, really? I don't know what you've seen." And she's like, "I can't explain it. Don't ask me." Literally, they don't
That's
even.
the writers
they couldn't
just not
even
knowing.
write an explanation for why this girl would be into Toad Boy, the guy who does weird voices.
I don't know, but I think that was like in like an explanation for why someone would be into Toad from the X-Men.
That works. I would be more into Toad than I would be into Toad Boy, because
Sorry,
you know
it took me a
he's
long
got
time to
that
get there.
got that tongue.
That's what I was thinking. Like
Wow.
What
What
was that?
It's like Porky Pig.
That's all, folks.
That's all.
It's
So
not.
yeah, if you
Don't
see
leave.
if you see the door closed and a sock on the doorknob and you just hear don't bother Porky Pig.
Oh my god. Oh,
gross.
Porky Pig's a porkin.
Oh my god. Oh god. Okay, we're moving on. We can't be here anymore. Abort the mission. So there's just a collection of these random teens here, right? Oh, and then Rebecca and Jonathan from the beginning, right?
Yeah,
They're all here.
You can't forget them.
And they're all just kind of hanging out, trying to figure out what to do. And then Jonathan looks at his book that he found down in the basement.
Well, like flips itself open.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, you know what would be fun? Let's do a ritual.
Oh my
and all
gosh,
his friends
girl.
are like, okay, cool. So then commence ritual led by John. It's just him reading from this book in the basement, and all his friends are standing there in a line in front of him. They look like they're super cold too. They're all kind of holding
they're
themselves.
in a basement of a castle.
And it's just funny to me that it's like they're like, yeah, let's do this thing for fun, and really only John is leading it.
Yeah, he's
and they
into
all
it.
look like they're not having a good time.
It's so weird.
And he's trying to read the Latin, just random Latin words throughout the whole thing. I don't really know what he's reading or if it's actual bullshit or not. But while he's saying it, one of the annoying stoner dudes is like, and you do the hokey pokey, and he's like trying to make fun of him and make light of the situation. Because it's not a very fun thing for anybody but Jonathan, who found this book literally earlier today. And he just keeps saying like, come, I order thee in the name of the most holy Trinity. Rinse and repeat. He just keeps saying that. And nothing is really happening.
Let me tell you something. This movie said the word come so much.
So much.
So,
yes, come on in.
Hi, it's me, Science Man Jim.
Hey, it's Science
I'm
Jim. Science
actually
Man Jim.
here. I've been doing a little bit of research because I wanted to know where this fucking Latin came from.
Oh wow, swearing now.
Sorry, it made me very upset.
Yeah, this movie got to you.
Here's some cards for Derek because there's a lot of information and I don't want to talk in this voice for a long
Now
time.
you know why Count Trivia gives me trivia cards instead of sticking around to read them.
oh, thanks, Science Man Jim.
Yeah, anytime. You know, it's really good to be back in front of the...
Get out. Go.
Okay, bye. Thanks for coming.
All right. So something I found out. Well, sorry, Science Man Jim found out.
Something Science Man Jim found out. You're reading.
So all of the like symbolism and stuff, and now this is just based on my very limited research, right? So it looks like all of it was taken from the Lesser Key of Solomon, which is a book of sorceries.
Yes.
From an anonymous anonymous writer,
Interesting.
right? So it is very interesting. So throughout the movie, he's like conjuring different gods and stuff.
Right.
He conjures Ashtaroth.
That's true. He does say that name.
He conjures Vespar and Procel, or
Wow.
also called Crocel.
Okay.
Those are like his main three. He conjures a lot of them.
Wild.
But like those are the ones that kind of stick out. I'll go through a couple of them real quick. So Ashtaroth in demonology is known to be the great Duke of Hell in the first hierarchy with Beelzebub and Lucifer.
Okay.
So there's him. He is known to be a male figure, most likely named after the goddess Astarte.
Okay.
So
This
there's
is neat.
there's
This is
him.
way more interesting than anything in the movie. Can we just do this the rest of the time?
Sure. Vepar is a strong Duke of Hell and rules 29 legions of demons. He governs the waters and guides armored ships laden with ammunition and weapons. He can
Whoa.
also make, if requested, the sea rough and stormy and to appear full of ships. This part, I don't know why this was disgusting to me. Vepar can make men die in 3 days by putrefying sores and wounds, causing worms to breed in them. But if requested by the conjurer, he can heal them immediately, which may or
man.
may not come up later on in the movie. And I don't know if they did that on purpose.
Oh man.
I hope they did.
That feels like that could totally be an accident, just like good coincidence.
Yeah, that's
'Cause
kind of
I don't-
how I felt too.
I don't know how much I trust them to do something that clever because I know what you're talking about.
But this one also kind of related a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, and Vepar is depicted as a mermaid.
Oh,
So
interesting.
we didn't see a mermaid though.
No.
Procel, otherwise known as Crocel,
Uh-huh.
is the 49th spirit of the Gotia, manifesting as
Like,
an angel.
Like, what is it? Somebody that I
Cody,
used
eh?
to know.
Yeah, Crocel is just somebody I used to know.
But you didn't have to curse my head,
Oh, we went different.
fill my body up with worms,
Worms,
then make
make
them
'em
go
heal
away.
well. Now it's all rough and stormy, but now you're just a mermaid that I used to know.
Some mermaid that I used to know. Anyway,
Just a mermaid. Pretty good.
go to, yeah. You had somewhere.
Oh, right. He manifests as an angel with a tendency to speak in dark and mysterious ways. Once a member of the powers, he is now a Duke of Hell who rules over 48 legions of demons.
That's a
When
couple of legions.
Summoned by a conjurer, he can teach geometry and other liberal sciences.
Oh,
He
wow.
can also warm bodies of water or create the illusion of the sound of rushing waters.
guy sounds
and
pretty
reveal
helpful.
the location of natural baths.
He sounds pretty helpful to me. I don't know. Are we sure this is a demon?
I mean, it. Yes, we are sure that this is a demon.
All right, if you say so, I trust it.
So yeah, my main takeaway here
Yeah.
is it seems like they actually got real names
Uh-huh.
and went in pretty deep with this Goetia sorcery.
Which is just whack to me because it did not feel that way.
And I was looking through some of different stuff about it. I won't really go into more detail. You can look it up if you want.
Yeah.
But all of the symbolism they put on the ground, like the triangle and stuff, like look at my screen.
Yeah.
That is the triangle they drew on the ground.
So they did the homework on that. Yeah.
all
it
of this
looks-
symbolism and stuff. I'm assuming that if someone believed in all of this, they were probably pretty freaked out on set.
Probably because they actually did the real shit. Because like that's messing with some heavy stuff.
You're messing with some heavy stuff. This is like people believe this and use this all the time. Like this. Yeah, well, not
I'm all
the time,
for
but-
doing the important research and making it accurate, but also like it gets kind of if like you're faking rituals and stuff, but using a lot of the real symbolism and runes and such.
Yeah.
Like that's
Well, because
could
like
be messy.
So this specific stuff that they were using, they've traced it back to ancient Mesopotamia with like ancient Egyptians and stuff.
Wowee.
That's why it's like so in depth. There's a lot of information on it, and it's a very like it was a widely used
This is
dark
cool.
sorcery. It's super cool, but at the same time, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't, your faith beliefs aside, like you're messing with something,
Mm-hmm.
and you're making a movie about it, and then you're putting these little gremlins in instead of like the actual gods,
Crazy.
like
Crazy,
or
crazy.
demons. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So that's awesome. I love that. But yeah, the what am I trying to say? The ritual goes off and nothing happens. It's a big dud, so everybody starts to leave. And then before they leave, Jonathan's like, I have to dismiss the spirit. And then one of the shitty stoners is like, so do I. Where's the bathroom?
Ugh.
Yeah, he's just super annoying. But then as they're walking out, there's fog that rolls in over the chalk triangle that he drew on the ground. And then this fucked up little rat guy appears in the center of
yeah,
it.
dude.
I'm like, okay,
Oh,
now the movie's starting. We got one of the Ghoulies in here.
But the way he was like printed onto the screen.
It's
He
so
looked
funny.
so stupid.
It's so good. So they go to like roam the house for a minute. There's one room that the stoners walk into that has this like jester mannequin.
Oh my God, what?
It's like a human
Forgot
sized
this
doll.
was even in the movie.
And it's chilling in like a chair in the corner of the room.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, gross. So then they're like, let's check out the closet. So they open the closet. Then another one falls onto them.
But was it another one?
No, because then they turn
Turn
around and like,
around.
oh shit, it's the same one from the chair. And they're like, we're gonna go away now.
Yeah. And apparently they were looking for their friend who disappeared.
Yeah, they
It
like
didn't really cover that, but they're like, well, she's not in here.
Yeah, so one of the friends runs away and then they find her and then nothing really happens with that, I don't think.
No.
I didn't write a note about it because it didn't really matter.
No, I just wrote that they were looking for their friend.
Yeah. So anyway, the house is kind of spooky, right? There's at least a ghoulie in there now. So
Yeah.
there's that. Now it's the next day, we can assume, and John is talking to his girlfriend about how he really just like really wants to spruce up this house.
He wants to
He's
so
been
bad.
watching a lot of Home Improvement. He's like, I
Yeah.
think we can really turn this house around.
We can really turn. I'm gonna drop out of school.
Yeah.
Because I wanna improve this
Because
house.
he inherited this house, and for some reason, overnight, he's like, it's just a lot of work we got to do in this house, and I really want to take care of it. And this is going to be like the future house that we live in
It's a
someday.
really
They're not
touching
married; they're just boyfriend girlfriend.
It's a touching story to see this 36-year-old man drop out of school to fix a house.
Yeah, honest, it's just wild.
What a
like
plot.
really real touching story. But yeah, so then his girlfriend's not really pleased about him trying to drop out of school to clean his house, basically.
Right.
And then he does, and it's just a sequence of him throwing shit all around the house, and then he's compelled to go down to the basement. And then Jack Nance is narrating it again,
Yep.
talking about how like
Oh, I tried to do
he's
my
compelled
best.
to go back into the darkness and find what's there. And now there's more stuff set up. There's like a table now with all the fixings. They got daggers and they got vials of like chalices for blood. I don't know. It's just like they got a bunch of stuff down
yeah.
there. It's super weird. And now he's instead of like there were like old dusty paintings on the ground for the symbols you were talking about.
Yeah.
Now he's actually painting them on like
Right.
real good. And it's like he's definitely going into this a bit now. And then he invites Rebecca back over, and the house is just all good now. Like, how
Yeah.
much time has passed in this movie?
It felt-
How can we tell?
It felt like 2 minutes had passed. And
Yeah.
he got distracted by painting ritual
And
stuff.
it felt felt like he was focused more on the basement than the rest of the house at all, because he started like putting everything up in the basement now to make it that ritual room that we found in the beginning of the movie, right?
Yeah.
Where he was a baby. So it's in the same house. It's just like, I don't understand how all this is happening. But
I don't either.
as he's brought her back and showing her the house, he's like, wow, look at all the work that I've done. He did make her a talisman to protect her, quote, from everything, is what it just says. She's like, what is this? It's a talisman. It'll protect you. From what? From everything, is what he says. It's just so stupid.
And we'll say, like, now that he's doing his ritual stuff,
Yeah.
a good, like, 50% of the rest of the movie is him just yelling at triangles on the ground.
Yeah, literally him standing in his garden, like in front of a fountain, looking at a triangle and just yelling. He's just yelling at triangles.
Yelling at triangles.
Yeah,
That's
so
all
it's,
he
it's
is
wild.
doing.
So it's weird because like there's a grave in his front yard.
Oh,
that
yeah.
They've showed a couple of establishing shots on it.
Yeah.
No one's really explained what it is. But Rebecca finds him out in his front yard now for some reason. She's like, hey, I made us dinner. And he's like, well, I'm fasting now. So, and she gets all pissed. She's like, so you drop out of college and now you're fasting? I can't handle this. And then leaves. Goes back inside.
So what you're telling me is you're going to stop eating?
After I've made us dinner?
It's like 1 a.m. and you don't want to eat right now?
Yeah, it's like late at night. I don't know what they're doing, but he's just like, he looks like shit sitting there staring at the grave. He looks all sick.
But then this is one of my favorite transitions in the movie because it goes immediately into the next morning and he's back in the basement yelling at triangles again. And she comes down and he's like, oh, you're home from work?
Yeah, exactly. And the night before, when he was yelling at
10 a.m.
triangles, he does rise more ghoulies. He has a couple
yes.
of them that pop
Yes,
up
he
now.
does.
When he's yelling at triangles in the fountain at night, the ghoulies arise. They're looking nasty. One of them looks like the Goombas from the live action Mario movie.
Oh, yeah.
They look really gross.
Whoop,
and
whoop.
it's cute. He's like their master and they bow to him.
Yeah,
like I
man.
think they're really adorable.
I love them.
But he tells them like remain invisible to all but me, and they're like, okay, we'll do that.
Yeah.
That's too much
They
like
did-
Cooper.
But they did like have a weird modulation to their voice.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Ooh, okay, you
Yeah,
got
really.
it."
They're cute though. But I just wrote here, hopefully this movie starts to pick up because it's been dragging a little bit. It's a little slow paced right now.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, like Derek mentioned, the whole basement is fixed up now and it looks better than the rest of the house does, which is funny. And he's trying to summon something like bigger than the Ghoulies and it starts to rain in the basement. He's calling to one of those gods,
Yeah.
right? And it just starts pouring rain down
Hey,
here.
pouring rain though. Mm-hmm. That was one of the gods.
Okay, see? That's another thing. It's wild. And then as he's trying to summon them, Rebecca walks in on him and he just goes, you're home early.
That was when he was calling to Vepar.
Yeah.
And Vepar is the one that conjures what?
That's okay.
They did it, man.
Okay, so they did do a little bit of research here. All right. What's funny is like she gets mad, she starts walking away from him, and the rest of the house still looks like shit. So it's like he didn't even do any work on the rest of this house. He just spruced up the basement. And so she like makes Eggs angry for like 2 minutes and then snaps at him. And also him with the rain dripping from his head and his black costume makes him look like Bully Maguire from the Spider-Man movie. That's
100%.
the meme.
This whole scene was hilarious to me. It was probably my favorite scene in the movie just because of how bad it was.
Yeah.
Because she like runs upstairs and like you can tell she wants to make food. And so she just grabs a pan and then like throws it around a little bit. She doesn't know what to do with it. And then she just like puts it down right next to the sink and just starts throwing eggs in it.
Yeah, and then snaps at him and turns around. And then he's like, it's okay, babe. This is the last you'll ever hear about it. I'll never do rituals again.
Oh, shut up.
And then guess what? The next scene is a rather long scene of them getting into bed and then kind of making out. It feels pretty pointless. But then
I was getting into
no,
it.
the music was good though because the music inspired more intrigue than the scene even called for. But then what's that under the base? What's that under the floor?
Is that a ghoulie? Is he sitting on top of a roof?
Yep.
Is he sitting on more triangles?
Under the bed, there's another one of those symbols that he has painted under his bed, and it's like glowing. There's a rat, one of those rat ghoulies chilling on the
man.
bed.
He's so cute.
And so he's like reciting Latin, pretending he's doing like dirty talk while they're kind of like getting intimate with each other. And so like the little portal under his bed starts glowing. He's trying to do ritual shit like while they're about to fuck in this bed.
Yeah, man.
And so wisely, Rebecca's like, I've had enough of this. I'm getting out of here. So she leaves. She's up and out of here, right? And then immediately he's back in the basement doing more rituals, calling to more gods. And do you remember what happens next? What comes up now is 2 little dwarves.
Yeah, boy.
He calls up
They're so
literal.
cute.
They seem like literal actual dwarves from Lord of the Rings. Their names are Grizzle and Greedy Gut.
I loved them. I
And
loved them so much.
They were incredible. And now his eyes are green and he's getting that power, right? His fucked up eyes also look bad. They just don't look good. I just like, what is even happening? Where are the Ghoulies? I thought this movie was called Ghoulies. I'm not finding them anywhere in here, right?
Yeah, man.
And so basically he tells them like they work for him now. He's their master. And they're like, we can give you anything you want. He's like, I want knowledge. But in order to obtain knowledge, he has to do this like dark, dangerous ritual, they tell him.
So, okay, I pulled up the script
Okay.
of the movie because I was very curious about something.
Okay.
Literally all of the quote unquote Latin
Yeah.
that he is speaking in this movie is just different names of gods. I hope I don't conjure anything. I haven't drawn any runes, so I'll probably be okay.
We're rune free.
This is literally verbatim. I call upon thee, Vepr. I call upon thee, Procel. And thee, Ashtaroth. Bring forth thy fury of thy tempest before me with these words. Come now. Show me thy might. Come now that I might anoint myself with thy
And then they
power.
come.
Yes, come now. Yes. Thank you for having appeared and for having fulfilled my request. Thou must depart.
That's it.
That he literally says that over
Just
and over
and over again. Yeah, it's pretty rough, and it's funny to me. His rituals are awfully boring every time that they happen. But this time he summoned up Grizzle and Greedy Gut, and
Which was great.
They're pretty cool. I like them.
They were probably the standout of the movie,
Honestly, though. So yeah, now he has these two henchmen basically that work for him, these two dwarves. And then I just wanted to mention there's a cute little bit where he's like reading a book about rituals, and there's like the little rat ghoulie just like chilling next to him.
Just chilling.
He's just chilling. They're reading together.
It's cute.
Then Rebecca shows back up, and she's like, I want to take you away from this house. Let's leave and get out of here. And then I forget, what does he say to her? But he like pisses her off or something like that. She's like, never mind, I'm leaving.
Never
I'm
mind,
out of here.
I'm leaving. I think she just knows that he's doing ritual stuff.
Yeah,
again.
which is funny because that's what she thought in the first place. Why did she come back?
Yeah,
Anyway,
exactly.
so as she's walking away, Grizzle and Greedy Gut are sneaking around the corner, and then Jonathan looks at them and is like, hey, do something about this. And then they kind of just give her a look, and then she slowly turns around and she's like, I'm sorry, I'm back now.
And
I'm
all of a sudden, she is
and
under
now,
his command.
And now she's okay again.
thralled.
We get another narration from Jack Nance. Where is his character?
I don't know. We
haven't seen him since the beginning of the movie.
We see him sleeping in his bed.
Yeah,
one
we
time.
see one shot of him sleeping in a bed in somewhere in this house, right?
Somewhere.
And that's the last we see of him for a long time.
Yep.
We just hear his voice. So again, it's giving us some narration about like how the power is becoming greater within Jonathan, whatever. It's just like, what is the
what are
point
you
of
doing?
him?
Why are you
It's
here?
so weird. I wasn't understanding why he existed here. But then all of the obnoxious friends are back for some sort of dinner party that they're having. Yeah. And something is definitely amiss. Like it seems like Jonathan and Rebecca under a trance are like planning something with these people, right? And there's ghoulies all up in the food. They're like running around. They're in the chicken. They're in the soup. There's like a whole spread of food up in here.
There was like a cauldron full of mushroom dip.
a lot of mushroom dip.
And they
It was
even made a
super weird.
joke about it. And then I figured out why. It's because they wanted a whole ghoulie to fit
Yeah,
in it.
exactly, which makes sense. Mind you, none of the people can see the ghoulies because he did tell them to be invisible to all but him.
Yeah.
Which, when he said that, I thought he meant like stay out of sight. I didn't know they would actually just make them invisible to the human eye.
But no, yeah, they're completely
it
invisible.
Totally worked. There's a weird thing happening where all of the party guests are wearing sunglasses for some reason. Like every single one of them is sitting at the table. There's even one who's got like those weird the glasses that have the windshield wipers on them that like that work. It's just really. It seemed like they just really wanted to put those in the movie for some reason.
Yeah, I think they were just his, and he wanted to wear them.
But so they ask about them too, like, why are you wearing sunglasses? Like, it's all a part of my plan, so like don't even worry about it. Then he goes, my esteemed guests, I'm sorry about this, and says a couple more words in Latin, and then he puts them all under some kind of trance now. Then he just shouts, Keladim, which is
Qualadim!
Queladim, and suddenly they're all teleported down into the basement. And then the Ghoulies are absolutely not the center of this movie. This entire movie is just about this dude who wants to become a powerful, like, wizard, I guess. I don't even know what's happening with him. But now he needs his friends to help him with this ritual. And so he's got all of his friends down in the basement. They're wearing, like, these white cloaks kind of stuff, like it's covered. They have these hoods that cover their faces and stuff, and they're a part of this ritual that he's doing right now, and it revives someone from the grave outside, and it's John's father. His name is Malcolm Graves, I think
now.
is actually his name. Malcolm's back, everybody. Malcolm is in the middle of this fiasco. That was terrible. Don't listen to that.
No, that was a really good joke.
So the thing about the resurrection of Malcolm, he looks incredible when he first appears.
Yes, he looks so cool.
There's a whole skeletal corpse that bursts out of the ground.
his jaw's,
He's
like,
got,
falling
Yeah, he's
off.
got like tendons connecting from the cheeks.
Oh,
Like
he
it looks
looks so good.
cool. They did show this bit in the trailer though.
Yeah.
But then it cuts away from him and then cuts back. And then it's just a guy in some like ghoulish makeup.
Yeah.
And the whole shtick of it is ruined for me.
It was literally like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
You saw this really dope makeup.
It was really sad. I was like, I liked seeing it like that. Like, it looks really cool. I was super into it. But then, he was just a dude in some makeup. And so then in the flash of an eye, now everybody's back upstairs like it never happened. And so now Malcolm, the corpse guy, is just roaming the grounds, just kind of finding whatever he wants. He finds the little ghoulies over by the fountain, and he basically instructs the ghoulies like, I am your real master now. You're going to do what I say, okay? So then the what is it? Jonathan tells the party guests, he's like, all right, you've helped me with what I needed. Go roam the house. I don't really care.
Have fun.
He's like, me and Rebecca are gonna go to bed early. Bye, everybody. So then he just like leaves, and the rest of them are free to do whatever they want. So they all spread themselves out around the party. Toad Boy and his date are chilling by the fountain, and he's just like weirdly like tickling her. I don't really like. It's a cute thing.
No, it wasn't cute.
No,
it was gross.
It's kind of strange. But as he's tickling her, she drops her bracelet into the pond. And so she's like, well, go get it. And so he reaches into the pond to retrieve her lost bracelet, gets a bunch of like green goopy stuff all over his hand, and then gets attacked by a ghoulie. A ghoulie just lunges up onto his face and starts attacking him. Then one attacks the girl. And it's just like the two of them. It's one of those cheesy things that happens in bad horror where it's just the actor holding a puppet against their face and wriggling around.
And this is the first movie in like weeks I haven't had that expectation for, and it happened. It finally happened. I just had to not have that expectation.
So one of the couples, they have sex in one of the rooms, and then the guy leaves to go get some water or something. So he walks down the stairs. He finds Malcolm, who made it into the house, but Malcolm is not himself.
Oh, Malcolm's sexy.
No, he has disguised himself as some blonde woman to seduce him.
The actress who played her is called Temptress.
Really? That's her name? Or the character's
movie,
name? That's really funny. I love that. And so he's like coming up to her. He's like, wait a minute. Who are you? And then she just sticks out this frog-like tongue and wraps it around his neck.
She lick-a-tongued him.
Yeah, and then it's kind of wild because like he starts bleeding pretty profusely from where the the tongue is wrapped around his neck.
I don't know how that happened, man.
And then I guess we just have to assume he dies because then it just cuts away from him. Like there's just like an intense like he's being choked to death by this big tongue from this lady, and then
nothing.
Transforms back into Malcolm, and then I don't really know what happens after that. Yeah. So then Jonathan releases Rebecca from her trance. He puts her talisman back on her neck, right? He's like, I'm sorry about all of this. I need to protect you. Meanwhile, Greedy Gut and Grizzle take out one of the stoner guys. I think they just like knock him over the back of the head or something like that. And then it seems like the two dwarves are at odds with each other because they're like arguing about how like basically Malcolm is their master. He's like, but the guy, because there's like a girl and a guy, and the guy's like, I don't really want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And anyway, they capture one of the rat ghoulies and throw it at the other stoner guy and kill him.
Yep.
So they're just kind of casually taking out everyone that was involved in this party, right?
It seems like a lot is happening, but the way this whole thing was presented was so boring.
Yeah, things just kept happening.
But they were like, it took a while between them. There was weird it was weird.
Yeah. So I mentioned earlier that there was a couple that had sex, right? The guy went down, he got tongued around the neck. The girl who's still up in the bedroom, she gets surrounded by ghoulies around the bed. Yeah. And as she's trying to run out of the room, the clown mannequin thing, oh, I'm so mad about this now because I realize this thing never comes back.
No, because we barely see it.
So she tries to run out of the room, and the clown is at the door, and it's alive now, and it starts walking towards her. She like sits in a chair, is terrified of it, and then what happens is a big lizard-esque claw comes out of the mouth of the clown and then rips itself open, and it's like a lizard man.
It was so dope.
It was
felt
so
very
sick.
Beetlejuice.
I loved it.
Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like the demons in hell
totally.
of Beetlejuice.
Absolutely.
That's what this felt like.
It felt so cool. Covered in goop. He was awesome. I loved him. But unfortunately, we never see
it again. And it was quick.
It was quick.
For having these cool prosthetics and stuff, they really underutilized
I was so sad about it. I'm sad now realizing that we never saw him again after this
and
moment.
we never saw it in the trailer either.
No,
he was only in the movie.
Yeah, so there's a cool lizard man in it, and then he never comes back. So then basically all of the people are dead now because Rebecca dies because she's running down the hallway, gets scared by something, I think.
Yeah.
And then she calls out to Jonathan. She's like, "Why, Jonathan? Why?" And then dramatically tumbles down the stairs.
What a stupid way to die.
Yeah. So then Malcolm calls his servants to him, even the dead teens, and they all just kind of like start flopping and wriggling their way to the basement to where Malcolm is calling them. It's kind of weird.
So stupid.
But then we get the shot of the ghoulie playing the piano. There's a shot of the ghoulie in the toilet.
Yeah.
It's just Seems like they were just thrown in there for some reason.
Yeah.
Don't really know why.
I don't know.
Yeah. But now all of the kids have gore makeup on them, even though all of them died off screen. We didn't really see any of that happen,
No,
right?
but the one who got like strangled around the neck does have like cool lacerations on his neck.
Yeah,
but
some
it
of
didn't
it
really
looks pretty
fit.
cool. Yeah, it's just like felt kind of out of place, especially since we didn't see any of them get any of these.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It
It was kind of weird to me. I wish we had seen a little bit more of that. Oh, here's where it happened. Here's where Rebecca dies because one of the ghoulies flies at her. It kind of has like flying squirrel kind of wings,
right.
flies
Yeah.
at her. Then she falls down the stairs and dies. So then Jonathan is sad about that. She's like, I can bring you back from the dead. And so he brings her dead body down into the basement where all of his dead friends are chilling there.
just chilling.
And they're in their white robes again.
How did they get in those robes?
Derek is really bothered by this. Like,
How did they get in the robes? They were like flopping down the stairs.
I
and
mean,
the-
there's Grizzle, there's Greedy Gut, there's like 90 ghoulies in the house.
right.
Like, I'm sure it's not that hard for them to get into their robes.
All right.
It was kind of weird that they were in them in the first place, though. Like, why? What was the point of that? But then
cult stuff.
it was at this point that I thought, does Jonathan not know that his ritual resurrected his father? Because I don't think he
I
knew.
don't think he knew.
And that does become clear to us. So I just want to know, what did he think he was doing when he called his friends down here, tranced them to help him out with his ritual? Like, what happened? What did he think was going to happen? I don't know.
Why did he start doing it in the first place?
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
So then,
Genetics?
yes, it would appear he has been double crossed because it seems the dwarves tricked him into bringing their
But they
their
look
real,
sad about it.
Yeah, their real master back to life, right? And they're like, "Oh, you double crossed me." And they're like, "Oh, we're sorry.
sorry.
Didn't
We
mean to.
love
He's
you."
he's our real master, and we kind of had to. Sorry about it."
Yeah.
And all Malcolm does to look menacing is like cross his arms in front of his chest. Like, it is not very spooky of him at all.
It's so stupid.
You can tell he thinks he looks a lot cooler than he
Oh
actually
yeah,
is.
you know this man was so
Yeah.
proud of that.
But so basically, the whole premise of this is that he wants to sacrifice Jonathan to Lucifer after all these years. He still wants to do that, right? So that's his whole purpose
whole
here.
shtick.
Jonathan is trying to use his own powers to thwart his father's efforts, and then it's just like he can't fight. His dad is stronger
No.
than him. It makes sense. He was a more powerful dude than him. It makes kind of sense.
Yeah.
And then Malcolm resurrects Rebecca as some sort of trick to get him because he's like, "Oh, you are powerful, but at your age, I was more powerful, son. But what makes you weak is your love." And then he resurrects Rebecca, and then Rebecca's like, "I love you. Come to me, please. We can live together forever." And one of the dwarves, I think it's Grizzle, is like, "No, don't do it. It's a trap." And what's funny about this is Malcolm is like, "You fools, I'll deal with you later." And it's like,
and he's like, they were obviously betraying you.
yeah, it's like they're
Maybe do
betraying
something
you
now.
right here in the moment. Do something about that now? I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
don't
guess,
know.
what does it matter? So then Malcolm like force chokes Jonathan, is like throwing him around the room, and it's kind of lame. You'd think that would
looks
look cooler. It
really
just like didn't really
dumb.
make sense. And then what's really weird,
Wolfgang?
no, before that,
Oh.
he says, "Kiss me, son.
Oh yeah, wait, yeah, whoa.
Kiss me, son. Let me drain the life from your lips."
Yeah, he started going in for a full makeout session.
And then Jack Nance as Wolfgang is back to save the day.
in a full ass wizard costume.
He has a wizard robe.
wizard robes, dude.
He's been gone the
Wizard
entire
robes.
movie, narrating on occasion, and then he's back in wizard robes. He's gonna solve the problem.
He's
he
gonna
throws
solve
a
it.
spear out into Malcolm's back,
Yeah, dude.
and then they just have like a wizard battle.
Yeah, but they kind of don't though. But also do.
Also, Wolfgang can teleport because he
Yeah,
was
he
like
can teleport.
He was in the staircase, and then he's like bloop bloop, and then he was over by
teleports
Malcolm.
behind you, kisses you.
And then it's just like a strangling battle. It was so lame. They're just like holding each other by the
Yeah.
neck, and then random lightning effects would fly in between them. But
Yeah.
then the room starts to quake and fall apart, and then Wolfgang kills Malcolm somehow. He just like overpowers him. It's just like a weird struggle. We're like, oh no, Malcolm's gonna overpower him. But then Wolfgang finds the strength, and he's a little bit stronger than him, and then they both just disappear out of existence.
And I found out by the kill count that they sent themselves into the underworld.
How the fuck were we supposed to know that?
I do not know.
How are we supposed to deign
I
that
do
from
not
any of
know.
this? That's so stupid. But then now all of the friends are somehow healed from all of
They're
their wounds. They're alive. Is
alive.
that what you were thinking about the like immediately?
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Reviving.
Yeah,
It
like
must have
healing them of
something
their
to do with
wounds
that.
must.
Yeah.
If they did the research enough, I'm sure that might have to do with it. But yeah, all of the
Also,
friends
might
are just
have just been lazy.
yeah, baby. So all of the friends are just completely fine, and they all run out of the crumbling house, and they just left Grizzle and Greedy Gut behind because they
Yeah.
all get in their cars and
They're
drive
sitting there
away.
sad.
And then Grizzle and Greedy Gut just kind of like wave them away. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay,
Okay,
they
bye.
did kind of save you in a sense, and they kind of helped you out. But I guess okay,
And
what are
then-
they gonna do now?
Isaac, this is a movie from 1980.
It
So
sure
what
is.
happened? They were driving away.
They were driving away into the sunset.
And everything was calm.
Everything
and
was good.
Nothing was in their back seat.
driving all the way from the
right?
madness. But wait!
No. Something was
Ghoulies in the back of the car.
Yeah, because there's 3 more movies.
Yeah, and then just freeze frame on one of the friends in the back of the car freaking out because there's ghoulies on him. And that's the movie. That's the end. Let's wipe our hands of that. Whew.
Yeah, let's use goggles that
Oh
have
man.
wipers.
So what was the kill count for this movie?
9.
9?
9. You know what the other stat I got was? 32 uses of the word come.
No, really?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
I used find on the
I mean,
script.
I completely buy that. That's a lot of those. So I want to talk about our expectation results for
Yeah,
this
dude,
movie.
Let's hear it.
So I said annoying teens that looked too old. I mean, like that's accurate as hell, but it was pretty obvious from the trailer. That wasn't really much of like I got that from the trailer, so I wouldn't really say that's much of a weird expectation to
for
have.
sure.
Stupid premise, but the monsters will be worth it. No. I was misled.
Yeah, you were.
So deeply.
So deeply.
Another one of my expectations was awesome effects work, and then all of the good effects were shown in the trailer. The only one that really took the cake was the lizard man that came out of the clown suit, and he
Yeah.
never had any explanation. Like, where did he come from?
Where
Where
did
did
he-
he go? Where did he come
con-
from? Lizard Man Joe. Like,
Lizard Man Joe. Very good.
and then hefty Gremlins vibe. It's just like the Ghoulies were purely used as marketing for this movie and played no large part in this movie. So no, not Gremlins
No,
vibes whatsoever.
not at all.
It seems like that's why they marketed it this way, because the Gremlins was so popular. That is not what this movie was in the slightest.
No.
Like not even a little bit.
They didn't even need to be there.
Yeah. And then and on that note, I wrote the Ghoulies will save this movie, and I just put a little sad emoji just because
Aw.
it's just no,
No.
they did not save this movie. They were
Nothing.
hardly in it, and it's weird that they made 3 more movies titled Ghoulies, even though they didn't use them at all.
Yeah, man.
It makes me want to watch the other ones to see if they
I mean,
become a bigger component
They
in
go to
later
college,
movies.
apparently.
That's,
so-
I want to. Do you think any of the other Ghoulie movies get better scores?
Oh, I haven't looked at
I'll
them.
tell you that the second one does not, because the second one was the original reason I wanted to watch for the podcast. I thought the
Oh,
first,
really?
yeah, because I saw Ghoulies 2 had a low score, and I was like, oh, cool. Maybe let's see what Ghoulies 1 was at, and then it was also low. So I'm like, well, I guess we can just start at the top and go from there.
Oh, yeah, they're all rated low.
But then, so for surprises, I was just surprised how crazy different the movie was from what it was marketed as.
Yeah, man.
Because it's like, oh, there's these cool little gremlin type creatures that are like causing a muck. And really, it was just a movie about Jonathan trying to become like his father and gain knowledge about these gods and all this like Solomon stuff. It's like completely different movie than what I was expecting based on what was advertised to me. And it was just really, I mean, it was wild to me.
Yeah.
A big surprise was just Jack Nance showing up in his wizard robes at the very end of the movie. That was definitely
That was
a surprise.
huge surprise.
I was really surprised by the lizard man coming out of the clown. That was really cool to me, and it's so disappointing that it didn't show up after that. And then the tongue around the neck bit was also surprising for me.
Yeah.
That kind of shocked me. But beyond that, man, like that's it for me. Those are my
Yeah.
expectations. What about you?
This is gonna make me groan a lot. Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
I genuinely haven't stopped groaning about this movie. Every time I think about it, I groan.
Absolutely.
The practical puppets will be hilarious, but I fear I've seen them all. I mean, actually, yes, but
yes
not
and no.
enough of any of them.
Yeah.
The random ones didn't have any screen time, and I don't know. That's a weird sexism. There was like no sexism in this movie.
Which is good.
It was good. It was just like unexpected, right? But there was like nothing in this movie, so I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, honest.
There won't be much of a plot outside the kids just wanting hedonistic teens. There wasn't really a plot, and they weren't kids. They were
No.
old men.
They were like full adults, full adults.
And the death scenes will leave much to be desired. I wrote right on the ghoulie with this one.
yep, absolutely. Right on the ghoulie.
My
one.
surprises were just how bored I was.
Yeah.
And like it didn't even run like long. It didn't feel like the movie took forever.
No,
but
it was
it was
only
still,
an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, but it was still so boring.
Yeah.
I was disappointed at how little we got the creature effects. I mean, I was surprised. Sorry, I was surprised at how little we got the creature effects, just
Really,
because they
though?
were so prolific in the trailer and
Yes.
named after them.
Uh-huh.
The lizard thing surprised me. You know, all those surprises. What was your score?
For me, my verdict, you guessed it. Horrorble. This was an hour and 20-minute movie where nothing happened. It was just guys yelling at triangles and the occasional fucked up little guy. Nothing else of note here. Like that's where I'm sitting with this. So what's your verdict? For
So I'm
this?
actually sitting at Borable for this one.
Borable for this one.
Because it was like, I don't know. it was horrible, but it was also just so boring.
Yeah.
Like I was just dying the whole
It's
time.
just, and I feel like it's not horrible for me just because I enjoy the Ghoulies as characters, right? I like them a lot.
All right.
Blah, blah, it is me, Count Trivia. I am here to give you your trivia for the movie. Here are your cards. Oh, thank you, little Count Trivia. For those who don't know, I may have committed to the bit too hard,
No,
and
just hard enough.
actually made a physical, tangible Count Trivia puppet, which I'll share to our social media. And there may be a reason that I made a Count Trivia puppet, but in the meantime, Count Trivia has given me some cards, and I'm going to read
It was
them for you.
incredible. You don't understand. Just wait until you see this puppet, guys. It's incredible.
So, this movie originally planned to be filmed in 3D and actually begin production in 3D. The audience would put their glasses on every time characters put their sunglasses on in the film.
What?
And every time that happened, it would change from 2D to 3D.
Are you serious?
So that's how this movie was intended to be. That's why there's that scene where they all have sunglasses on, because it's just like, it's to indicate, hey, put on your 3D glasses.
That's
yeah, so
there wasn't anything 3D about that scene.
after 2 days of filming in 3D, they changed their minds due to the complexity of filming in 2D and 3D. So this is why there's
What
so many
the
scenes where characters are wearing
hell?
sunglasses. Isn't that weird?
That's the stupidest thing I've ever
It's
heard.
so funny to me. The poster for the film, featuring a ghoulie popping out of a toilet bowl, reportedly caused several angry mothers to write letters to the studio.
What?
Yeah, saying that their kids were too scared to use the bathroom after seeing the poster. Because it spooked them because they thought they were going to find a ghoulie in
that's
there.
gross.
It's pretty good
Old
to
baby
me.
thing.
Critters 1986 has a scene where a critter comes out of a toilet as an homage to this film.
Really?
Yeah, just a better use of critters in general in that
Yeah.
one. And then my last one was the original concept for the film was much different than that of the final product. Originally, the film was going to be about a kid moving into his grandfather's house who finds out that the inspirations for his grandfather's stories are living in the house and trying to kill him. That was the original plot for the movie.
Better.
That's way better.
That's way better. Make that movie.
Fox greenlighted the movie. I don't think greenlighted this movie. I think greenlit is supposed to be the word. Fox greenlit the film for a $12 million budget, but along the way, the film was dropped and the script was heavily rewritten to appeal to teenagers.
Nothing about that movie appeals
What
to
about
a
this movie
teenager.
appeals to teenagers?
They're freaking adults. I love watching a 36-year-old man pretend
I
to be a teenager.
do not
That's my favorite
understand.
thing in the world.
Anyway, that is your trivia. Thank you very
Trivia.
much.
Thank you, Cat Triv. I love you. I'll kiss you later.
So next week we have a movie that we're going to be watching.
Yes, we will be watching The Omen,
The
2006.
Omen from 2006.
Not the one from the 19s. I don't know when it came out.
The 1990
The remake. We're watching the remake because the
Watching the
original one is
remake.
actually like pretty well revered.
Yeah,
So
we're watching the remake from.
I personally have never seen the original. Maybe I'll go watch it first. We'll see. We'll see what time
Yeah.
allows.
So we'll be watching the remake from 2006.
Okay, wait. We have to stall for 30 seconds.
30 seconds because you said we would talk about it at 1:22.
Yeah.
That's insane. I can
just solve-
tell you. Okay, go follow us on our socials. We are
yeah.
on Instagram at _was_horrible, Twitter at TWH Podcast, Facebook at That Was Horrible Podcast, and YouTube at That Was Horrible. We've done a lot better at updating the YouTube now.
Yes,
there's
it
there's
is all-
more
it is
content
current.
on there. We've also uploaded, I believe now, hopefully it's uploaded by this point. We uploaded the other half of our playthrough of Slenderman.
Yep.
Yeah, because we uploaded like the first half of our play basically that day. So we have a second episode of it up now.
Yeah, and let us know what you think about it because it was a really fun time.
I think it's great. Derek, can you hear that?
What is that?
There's some. Is that static?
think it's static.
What's going on? What's happening?
Whoa.
We bring you a special announcement from the boys at That Was Horrible Incorporated.
Yes.
We have some exciting news to share with you.
Wonderful, great news.
That Was Horrible has been graciously allowed or select. I don't even selected is the best way to put it.
we talked about it.
We will be special guests at a film festival happening locally in Utah. We are now going to be a part of the It's Only a Movie
horror
Film Festival. You heard it. You heard it here. It is a wonderful horror film festival celebrating the original horror films. So it's
Yes.
basically what am I trying to say? A festival where people submit their original 8-minute long horror films, basically. So I'll just read it to you verbatim here. It says, the 2023 It's Only a Movie Fest Coven has convened and dark plots are afoot. Reach into the dark corners of your soul and create up to 8 minutes of your most horrifying storytelling. But don't freak out. It's only a movie. So submissions are open. If you are a local Utah horror filmmaker, submit.
Or if you
one
just
of
want to
these.
like try your hand at making a movie,
Absolutely.
maybe we will.
Yeah, it'd be great. No, it's a super fun festival time. They're gonna have a lot of special guests. So yeah, we are going to be special
Yes,
guests
we will
at this
be special guests.
wonderful horror film festival. We will be doing a bit of a live bit.
Yeah.
We've never done anything like that, so
No,
it's kind of
it's
super exciting for us to
extremely
do this.
fun.
Yeah, it's wonderful. We thank all the people that got us there. We thank our friend Spencer. We thank Archie for helping us
Yes,
get involved in
thank
all
you
of this
so
stuff.
much. It's so exciting.
But yeah, it's super cool. It was run by the Winters, who helped make Deadstream.
Deadstream, yep.
You know, of Shudder fame. Like
Yeah.
that's insane to us. Like so, like that's the kind of people that are involved in this kind of stuff, right? They're the people that started this whole thing.
And
It was
they passed it on to Archie.
yeah,
who's
it
now
was
in charge of it.
resurrected last year by Archie. It was away for a couple years, and last year's was a great turnout. It was a great
Yeah.
time. So this year we are so stoked to be a part of it.
We're
We are
so
here,
excited.
so happy to be involved in all of this. Thank you.
We will be there all day on the 28th.
On the 28th. It is running
Yeah.
on the 27th and 28th at the wonderful, definitely haunted Rivoli Theater
Yeah, in Springville.
in Springville. Yeah, it's the spookiest festival in the greater Springville area. So tell a friend if you like horror, come check it
Yeah,
out.
come check
they're
us
all-
out.
We'll
Come
be
say
there
hi to
all
us.
day on the
You can meet
Saturday,
Count
the 28th.
Trivia.
Yes, come meet Count Trivia. Count Trivia will definitely be there. We may have another puppet that's in the works.
Oh, I might be there too,
Oh, for a
guys.
science
Ooh,
gym.
baby.
But yes, so we speak to you from the beyond to tell you to
beyond.
come join us at the 2023 It's Only a Movie
Don't
Festival.
freak out. Don't freak out.
Don't freak out.
It's only a movie.
a movie. So thank you all for listening. We will keep giving you updates on that kind of stuff. We'll keep plugging it as much as we can on the socials, which I've already told you about. Go follow them as well. They are also
Yes,
on
go
on
follow
the,
them
on the
so you can
social
keep
medias.
up. You'll see us on there sometimes, maybe.
They have a Facebook. You can just look up "It's Only a Movie" film fest or horror film festival. They're also on the Instagrams on just one word. It's Only a Movie Fest.
Yep.
Go follow them. Check it out. They'll be posting updates for it. So it's awesome. I mean, is there anything else you want to say about this? It's
No, I'm just incredibly honored.
I can. We're
super excited.
humbled, honored, in disbelief, honestly, that this is
Yeah.
something that is happening. We've had this podcast for less than a year, and now we get to attend little
Yes.
horror film festivals here, and it's like. It's a celebration for all of
Oh,
us
yes.
weirdos that enjoy this, that love Halloween. As soon as there is a chill in the air, we want to get the Halloween decorations out and just celebrate it for as long as we can. Everybody wants to get onto Thanksgiving and onto Christmas.
No, no, no,
Screw
no,
that
no, no,
noise.
no.
We are here.
No, 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 no.
We're loud. We have a community here. We are the
Yes.
horror people. And this is a place to celebrate that, right? So even if
Yeah.
you're not a filmmaker, come support the people that do it, right? Come check it out. You know, they're going to be awesome people coming to come see some stuff. You know, there'll be tarot readings and maybe some paranormal investigators.
Maybe some like costume contests.
Yes,
some cosplay.
costumes heavily encouraged, right? So
Yeah.
it's all going to be
It's
a
just a
super
celebration.
great time. All details still being worked out. You know, it's going to be October 27th and 28th this year
2023.
of 2023.
Sorry if you're listening to this in 2027.
You missed it, but maybe we'll be at the next
Maybe
one.
we're there.
Who knows
Who
if it all goes
knows?
well? But yeah, so a lot of details in the works right now. You'll see a lot more of that. But come check us out at the
Yeah,
It's
please.
Only a Movie Horror Film Festival. Thank you very much for listening, and that's our bit, I think, right?
I think that's our bet.
Yeah.
I think that's the whole podcast episode.
That's probably the whole the end of the episode, right? We can just end it here.
Is this how we? We always talk about how we cold open. How do we cold end?
I don't know. Cold ending is so hard because you keep running and running and running, and then how does it stop? And then you just like fade it and like play music over what we're saying, and I'm trying to, hey, don't play music over me. I'm trying to talk. Hey, wait, no, don't. It's spooky.